Yep, we're live. Hey guys.
Are we live? Hello.
Um,
I feel like there's
so
always an awkward moment of delay.
yeah, it's so strange, like not fun at all sometimes. But all right, this is Oliver. He is a journalist from Wiwibloggs. First of all, welcome, Oliver. It's a joy to have you here. So you can introduce yourself, plug your social media.
Thank you. Obrigado por me convidar. Uh, yeah, my name is Oliver Adams. I am a British correspondent with Wiwibloggs. Um, my social media is at alpha oliver underscore. I've kind of got a reputation at the moment with Wiwibloggs for being a very harsh critic. So yeah, I guess we're here to chat about all things Eurovision in the lead up to Rotterdam, only 18 days away. Wow.
Only 8 days. Yeah, it's going by mad fast, and I don't think we're already at this point.
Oh no. Yeah, I mean, I'm very excited. I am ready, but at the same time I can't believe it's been more than 600 days since the last Eurovision, and that seems absolutely crazy to me. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm so excited.
Yes, of course. It's just a dream come true. We waited so long and now it's finally here and we all just can't wait and I'm sure you guys share that sentiment. So first of all, let's talk semifinals predictions.
Hmm.
Semifinal one, famous for being the death semi of the year.
Hmm.
A lot of quality songs. Um, it's going to be hard to watch something go. And Oliver, what do you think are going to be the shock qualifiers, if there's any, or if there's going to be any shock non-qualifier instead? And who do you think you're safe? Just share your thoughts with us.
I don't know if I'll start with the shock non-qualifiers. And I think the one that I'm really sorry to say, because I know it's a lot of people's favorites, I don't think Romania is going through. Um, I really have my doubts about that because Romania have been really hit or miss with their staging in recent years. Estepini, a lot of people like that song. The Humans was that 2018. That staging was so bad, and if they get it right, I think they could go through. But I'm very worried for Romania as well. Australia is the other one I'm a little bit concerned about. Um, Main point being they've got a 100% track record, so it would be a massive shock if they went out. And I'm concerned because they are using their live on tape performance. Montaigne isn't going to the Netherlands this year. A lot of artists have said they're making changes between their live on tape and their stage show. So Samantha Tina has said that she really disliked her live on tape. Jean Tiers from Switzerland also wasn't too keen on his live on tape. So if Montaigne is the same, I think that she's potentially out. The televote doesn't give much love to Australia, so she might be able to get in with the juries. But I think those are my two borderline non-qualifiers.
Yeah, about Romania, I have been on edge about this song for a long time. I know it's a lot of people's favorites, but I just don't really vibe with it enough. But I think it's got enough traction to go forward. But yeah, Romania's staging has been so, I don't know, it's been so unreliable these years that you just can't be sure about anything. But like Roxanne is a big artist, she's growing a lot. So I think that if they're going to bet on anyone, then it should be on her. But we won't know until the live shows. But yeah, she is on a very fan ground at the moment. And
Mm. She
Australia,
can
I'm too
sing.
worried
She can
too.
sing.
Yeah, she can sing up, of course. Yeah, but we will see. I think from her we won't have any disappointments, but let's see about the staging and how this song is usually perceived. In Australia, like I think if they're going to NQ for the first time, that time is probably going to be now. It's going to be the one with least impact because of they're going to use the live on tape, so it won't be as much of a shock. And I don't know if SBS has taken the precautions to, I don't know, maybe they knew they wouldn't be able to travel and put a lot more effort on the live on tape. But
Mm.
yeah, they are also very nice. We got some comments here. And
Yeah.
Frog Rose has a question in Portuguese, and he's asking if you're better from your fall.
Oh my gosh. Frog Rolls is trolling us. I ignore him. Yes, I'm fine, thank you, Hamish. Um, Also, if she qualifies, they'll be using the same live on tape from the semi. That's a very good point. So when people you often have this update from the semi-final to the final. It has to be exactly the same, but the artists still have time to get more comfortable with the stage, whereas Montaigne is using the same live on tape from semi-final to final. It just, if it's not working in the semis, I don't know. I just really hope that most countries can use their live performances this year. Um, Yeah, because live on tapes kind of scare me.
Yes, it's such a wild concept. Like we are so used to everything being live, and now it's this whole new thing that we aren't sure how it will work yet. But yeah,
Hmm.
there's just a lot of things that are uncertain, and I hope she got this got to be comfortable. But we've seen, for example, in Sanremo with Irama, who had to use the same performance every time, and yeah, at the end it kind of got a little boring. Like there
Yeah,
wasn't the
yeah.
surprises. Of course, Eurovision has a lot less changes from one night to another than Sanremo, but it's a lot to take into consideration. And Fabio said, "Good evening to both of us. Thank you, Fabio, for
Good
joining."
evening, Fabio. Thank you.
And now the shock qualifiers. Who you think is going to surprise us on the semi and take a spot that maybe a lot of people will be shocked about?
Let me pull up my running order notes real quick because I think a lot in this semi-final is very dependent on the running order. If you'd have asked me before the running order, I would have had some very different answers, but now there are other things that make me, question. Oh, who do I think it was? Oh, I'm sorry. Uh, I actually think that Slovenia has a chance. And I run this through my head. I absolutely do not like the song one bit. We've talked about it in our Wee Wee Jory videos. I'm not a fan of Slovenia's song. I think the song is really poor. However, I felt very similarly about Tamara Tadevska in 2019 and Proud. I didn't like that song one bit, and she went on to win the jury vote. So I think that the more I think about it, Slovenia could pick up enough jury votes just to slip in there. And that could be in place of Romania or Australia. Um, she's not going to do well with the televote, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Slovenia qualify now.
Yeah, because they're on the running order. The producers know things that we don't so far,
Exactly.
so they might do something different to, yeah, to show on the show things that we really don't know before. And yeah, Slovenia could have, like, Anna is a powerhouse in vocals. She can obviously deliver. It is a similar but enough different vibe from North Macedonia last year. But yeah,
Mhm.
it's just that ballad that maybe people are missing and the juries will appreciate.
Exactly.
I personally don't believe it's going to go, but it's always possible. Let's see some comments. Caio says here that, is it true that we'll have another show days after Eurovision with all live on tape performances? Yes, that's true. We'll get to see all
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
And
That's exciting, actually.
yeah, yeah, because especially now that we're going to have like more unique performances then, because it doesn't seem that a lot of countries will have to use that live on tape, thankfully. And we'll see how things could have gone a lot differently had
Hmm.
they'll not be able to perform live. So a comment from Scott says, can we talk about North Macedonia? Kind of sad that you have such a nice guy with a song like that.
Hmm. Yeah, it's tough, isn't it? Because Vasil is such a great singer. He's such an interesting artist. I don't know if you've seen this, but he was recently in Attitude magazine, so big gay magazine corporation, not corporation, publication here in Europe in the UK. And he told this story of what it was like growing up LGBTQ in North Macedonia, and you really feel the connection to him. And he clearly feels that connection with the song, but that doesn't translate um, the same way for us as it does for him. It's not an amazing song, unfortunately, and I do think it's destined to stay in the semi-finals. However, I think on a personal note, I really want him in the in the final. I just wish it was with a better song.
Yes, I feel so bad because this song clearly means a lot to him. It's so personal. He clearly loves it, but it's a shame
Yeah.
that it's not a good Eurovision song. Like, I don't know if you heard his song Turbina that like was maybe
Yeah,
proposed
yeah,
for Eurovision.
yeah.
Like that was such a good song. I still listen to it and it's amazing. And yeah, we don't know what the thought process was, but that would have been such a more interesting for the competition.
I think what part of it could have been is we've got a lot of songs this year that are more up tempo. We've not got a lot of ballads this year, and maybe they wanted to go down the route of having a ballad that stands out sonically, because even if you don't like it, you can't say that it doesn't stand out. Like, there is something memorable to it because it is different to everything else in the semi. Um, but even so, I don't think that's always a good strategy. You should go with a strong package. It doesn't matter what genre the song is. If the song is strong, people are going to respond to it.
Yes, especially you said about that there are a lot of upbeat songs in this competition like, this year, and in the same semifinal there's Ukraine with Go Away that has um, that electro folk very sounds very particular to Ukraine, and North
Hmm.
Macedonia maybe wanted to do something similar with Sabina, but they ended up going with a ballad because they thought it would stand out more. But yeah, that probably wasn't a good decision. And yeah, let's talk about Ukraine for a second. I know we're
Yeah,
not playing protocol, but I just love that song so much, and I
it's so
really
good,
wish it would
so
go
good.
to the final. What do you
Oh, it's
think?
going through. It is 100% going through. There is no way that this isn't going through. I think jurors are going to be less keen on it than the televote, but even so, not enough to not push it up to the top. It's coming top five in the semi, I think. Um, it's gonna stand out on stage, and we've seen kind of these teasers of the outfits they're gonna wear, these apocalyptic like hazmat suits, and that's gonna stick in a lot of people's heads. And I really think the televote is gonna absolutely love this, especially coming towards the end of the show. Like, it's so strong. I don't see a possibility of this not going through. Really.
Yeah, please. It's just so unique, so full personality, so something that we never seen before, and they just keep going and they just don't stop innovating, and it's just a pleasure to see. And it will be in the final. We will be so happy to see it. Let's read some of our comments. Kyle says, I agree. Maybe most Eurovision reviewers don't think Slovenia is qualifying because it's not their personal taste. My mom loves Amen, and I think this is Anna's aim audience.
That's a good point. Yeah, absolutely. You've got to play to different demographics. Whether that's the young vote, the older vote, it does. it does serve traction. I mean, we look at Melodifestivalen in Sweden, where they actually deliver their points by age group, and you can see the different genres that like the is the age 3 to 9, and then like 10 to 18, or something like that. Anyway, you can see the different genres that these people of different ages vote for, and it's very interesting. So I wouldn't be surprised if that is the aim, and that is Anna Soklic's target audience. Why not? Absolutely.
Yes, they have a point. It's Eurovision is a show that everybody watches, everybody votes, and everybody can have an opinion, and that's great. And there are some contestants that are going to benefit from that. So I'm sometimes a little shocked that they appeal to a certain age group that isn't commonly perceived as people who watch Eurovision, but they do, and they can make noise through voting.
Yeah, yeah.
Fabio says, what do you think of Portugal, of the music, and if it will pass to the final? We are going to talk about that soon. We're going to go to the second semifinal very soon, and
We'll
you
do that in
will see.
semi-final too.
Brazil should have gone with a big ethnic song. It's his signature sound. The best songs from him are ethnic influence.
Yeah, I agree. But at the same time, I do think it's his signature sound, yes, but you can't. I think this song, Here I Stand, is still um it's still signature Vasil. You know, he grew up in a children's choir, he's done opera, he's a musical theatre kid. This is very true to him. And it's different to the pop side of him, but I think he's just trying to show people everything he is. He's using this platform to be that voice for LGBTQ plus people in the Balkan states, where it's not always very friendly to be gay or queer or whatever you may be in those countries. So he's doing some really strong work by doing that, and I have to applaud him. And he said in that interview, actually, with Attitude, that he already feels like a winner. So I think even though he's not going to the final, good things will come of Eurovision for Vasil. He's going to have a great career. He's going to be a Eurovision fan favorite in the future.
Yes, yes. His song is full of his personality, and he definitely shows a lot of facets of himself through this music. And I think that's
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. And no matter if you like it or not, Here I Stand is a song that he had full control over, and it's a Vazel song. But I still would have preferred another thing, but that's what happened.
Yeah,
So anyway,
exactly.
Go gave us a taste when they performed in free parties. They're coming with a big staging and they want 100% to qualify. They're doing everything they can and must do.
Yeah, yeah. Completely echoing how I feel about it. They've got a very interesting artistic vision, and I'm certain that that will come across on the stage. I think they've got it in the bag as far as qualification goes. In the grand final, we'll see, but I don't think a top 10 finish is out of the question for Ukraine. I think it could do well.
Totally, totally agree. And last comment, by the way, Brazil and Attitude magazine, that's huge. I'm so happy he's getting this recognition. Yes, yes, it's great.
Amazing. Yeah, yeah.
And for just quickly, let's just go through the ones that are obviously going through Lithuania,
Hmm.
Russia. Who else
Hmm.
is in there?
Malta.
Malta, of course.
And we've also got Ireland, I think, is going through. Sweden is going through, hands down. Um, I don't think there's any question there. Whether you like the song or not, I don't think people can deny the artistic, at least the voice and the artistic quality of Tusa. So that is 100% going through. Um, the rest are kind of borderline. There's this is a very hard semi-final to predict. But yeah, the favorites, Malta, Lithuania, yeah, absolutely going through. No doubt in my mind.
Yeah, Tuesdays has a huge artist. He has this amazing stage presence, amazing personality, and he's just selling through very easily. Um, Kyle asked here if we have already talked about Cyprus. No, we haven't. What do you think, Oliver?
Is Cyprus in semi-final one? Yes, they
Yeah,
are. Okay. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting my semi-finals confused. Um, hmm. I don't like it. I don't like El Diablo. I really don't. I think it sounds very, very dated, and I just don't see the finesse in the production. It feels very sloppy and rushed. However, I do think it's going to qualify. I don't think it's going to do amazingly well, um, but there is there is no reason why this won't qualify. I think it's energetic. I think if the stage performance is really good, then this could end up, sixth, seventh place in the semi. Um, but just as a song, I'm not quite understanding what people are seeing in it. Like it's we've heard this kind of thing before. The vocal is good, but it's not mind blowing, and the lyrics are so bad. Like taco tamale, yeah, that's my mood. What? Like that is awful. I'm sorry, absolutely one of the worst lyrics of the year. But it is going through. It's absolutely going through.
I will somewhat disagree with you. Yeah, there are some
Uh,
lyrics here that I just can't stand, but and yeah, I
yeah.
agree with you that it's probably going to do a bit better than Tampa on the semi. On the final, I don't know, but I think it could have a top 10 placement. But the thing about El Diablo that I find is that it's just an amalgamation of so much musical influence and like, yeah, it sounds so familiar, and I think that's what makes me attracted to it. Like,
Mhm. Mhm.
there's just so many elements put together, and it's like very concise musically. And Elena, I'm sure she's going to have a good stage performance. Vocal, I don't know, but on the stage it's going to look good, and it's a song that I think has so many elements that go well together, and I see why you and some people think that it's not a good song, but in my opinion, it is.
I
It is
think
a lot of what I
familiarity.
expected.
Yeah, I think familiarity is fine. Like, absolutely, that's a route that you can go down. Um, when we look at, there's lots of reasons. Eurovision winners are often very, very familiar, and this is a big thing that I've done. Like, I do research into music, right? So one of the things that I've looked at is how Eurovision winners are actually very stealthily similar to what we listen to every single day. So Netta Toy was similar to the White Stripes, and it also had these like undertones of feminism that was kind of very big in music at the moment, which absolutely still is. Um, and even Amor Pelos Deutsch, when that won, La La Land, which was the biggest film of the year, biggest movie of the year, that was topping the box office, and the soundtrack there was very similar to Amar Pelas Deutsch. So, familiarity can work very well. I just think it kind of has to be a little bit you have to bring something interesting with it, I think. And El Diablo, I've not quite found it yet. But I don't hate it. There's parts of it I like. And yeah, I wish Cyprus all the best. Absolutely.
I see great insight you have there. It's just somewhat of an art to it, like um, playing your song and making it sound original, but also some sounds that reminisce you of something. I think that's an art on its own, and I super admire it. And that's also noticed to people that say the Eurovision is not according to times. It absolutely is. You can
Hmm.
see it,
Hmm.
and yeah, I think that's just great. Fabio here is showing us his love. Thank you for joining us. We'll talk about Portugal soon.
We
And then
will.
Kyle says, who do you think will get hurt by bad vocals?
Oh, okay. Oh, before we do this, actually, can we go on to semi-final two? Because I have somebody. Oh wait, no, 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 no. Sorry. Ignore me. I'm again getting my semi-finals confused. Who do I think will
That's
get
okay.
hurt by? Who do I think will get hurt by bad vocals? I'm not going to say bad vocals because all of the singers at Eurovision are better singers than me. So I can't say they're bad vocals. However, I am very, very worried for Eden Alen from Israel because if she misses that whistle note in Set Me Free, she's going straight to the bottom with the juries. Manel Navarro, Spain, Do It For Your Lover, that voice crack that still makes me cringe, still makes me shudder to this day. It was the bane of Spain that year, and if she doesn't hit that whistle note, she's out. I hope she hits it. I've got my fingers crossed that she does. Um, but yeah, that could be a big problem for Israel.
Yeah, like I really like Israel's song. Okay, it's somewhat of a, I don't know, for me because it's a good song. I think locals are going to love it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the minute I saw that whistle note, it's such a complicated note. It's like the highest on Eurovision history. If she can
Mm-hmm.
do it,
Mm-hmm.
she will soar up high. If she can, yeah, we are really not going to see them in the final. But yeah, me too. Fingers crossed for Israel to make it with this note because it is such a defining thing and it's so risky that they did this. But Eden's a good vocalist that we know,
Yeah,
but we don't know
absolutely.
at what extent she can go. But we're rooting for you, Eden.
Yeah. Fingers crossed for her. I think if she hits it, um, then yeah, she's gonna do well, and I really hope she does. I think she deserves it.
Kyle also says, I really hope Ireland proves people wrong and serves good vocals. Yeah, I'm kind of worried for Leslie too.
See, I don't. I think Leslie is great, and the thing is with Leslie, she has a very distinct vocal. I can understand like it's not necessarily as clear, and she's not hitting those like massive high notes, but she's got this pop punk vocal, and that really cuts through the kind of orchestral instrumentation of the song. Um, there's a very nice balance there. You've got this contrast between like Leslie's gritty vocal, and then you've got the very clear sounds of Maps. Um, so I can understand people worrying for Ireland, but I think she's going to do great. I absolutely love Leslie. She is one of the kindest people and just such an incredible performer.
Yes, Leslie, we love you. Like, she is really an amazing person, and like, yeah, her voice is very good for the songs that she think that she sings. And yeah, maybe you're right, and it's just going to make all sense on the big stage. And I really hope she does because she deserves the final so much. And we've
Absolutely.
been on too long about with the semifinals, so let's just close and talk about the last country, Azerbaijan.
Yeah. Azerbaijan, okay. I think this is one of the worst songs of the semi. I think this is really bad. However, I do think it's going to go through. It's very repetitive and it's very blatantly a rip off of Cleopatra. It's just them doing the exact same thing again. Um, and it's just the structurally, I don't think it's a good song at all. However, they Azerbaijan most of the time like completely knock it out of the park with the stage show, and being very late in the running order is going to be really hopeful to their televote. I don't think the jury is going to put Azerbaijan through, but the televote absolutely will.
Yeah, because with Azerbaijan, what I think is it's a bad song, but I like it. Like there's something that
Mm-hmm.
makes me want to listen to it, and I feel bad for it, but I still want to because It's kind of a bop, even though it's not a good one. But yeah, people have doubted Effendi's performances abilities, but I don't know. Azerbaijan always does a great picture, like I said, and
Mm.
maybe it's just a question of waiting, but I still really don't know. It's on. It's a toss-up. Hashtag love for Leslie. Of course, she deserves all of it. And who from Semi 1 had the biggest upgrade from last year?
Ooh, interesting. I would say probably potentially Belgium. Either Belgium or Ireland, definitely. I quite liked Story of My Life, but I appreciate that it wasn't to everybody's tastes. So that is definitely one up there. And Belgium as well, like Release Me was so bland, but there is a real there's kind of a momentum behind the wrong place. And I really enjoy it. I don't think it's gonna go through, but I do really like it.
All right. Yeah, I think that on question of objectivity, I think you are correct. The wrong place is great. I maybe like releasing a little bit more, but that's just my personal preference. I love both
Yeah, totally.
songs, and yeah, that's basically it. I think, yeah, these were the best upgrades. Matahari must have a great performance dance-wise because the song is all about the beat, but I'm worried about the Fendi's moves. Yeah, me too. But we'll
Yeah,
wait and see if she can do it.
yeah.
All right, we've been on Semi 1 long enough. Let's move on to Semi 2. So,
Okay.
same questions as last time. Shock non-qualifiers, shock qualifiers. Who were we sure will go?
Okay. Um oh, this one's really hard to call because again, like obviously we talk about this being the weaker semi-final, but I think this one is just as difficult just in a different perspective. I think that if there's any shock non-qualifiers, it's probably going to be Serbia. I don't see the juries responding to this at all, and I'm not 100% sure if the televote are going to love it. I think it'll get a lot of love from the Balkan region, but certainly not in the West. I don't think this is going to pick up many votes. Um, so the only one I'd really say will be shocking to see not go through would be Serbia. Um, yeah. What's your thoughts on Serbia? I've been the thing is I've been very mean to Serbia, mean, and people have very disliked me because of what I have said about Serbia. But I am being completely objective. I just don't think it's a good song. Um. So yeah.
So yeah, it's your opinion. It's your opinion. It's okay, but I think here in the channel we kind of disagree a lot because I think most of the channel also thinks that Loco Loco is a great song. It does what it has to do. It is absolutely on brand with the Hurricane Girls. It has a good beat. It's that mad addictive. It's easy to sing in the chorus. And the whole song actually has just an energy. And like in the beginning, I didn't like it. Is that what's worried? And that's what worries me on the semi because maybe people have the same reaction as me and not like it as much on the first listen, but as much as you listen to it and you just start singing along, and now it's in my top 10. Like first it was like bottom, and now it's grown so much. And I honestly think for what it's going for, it's a good song, great song, and I'd be so bummed for it not go. I think it can benefit a lot from diaspora votes and
Mhm.
Switzerland probably. I don't know if there's any more Balkans in the semi. But
Let's check.
there's Greece, like
We've got Bulgaria who could
that's Greece, there's
respond to
Bulgaria.
this kind of song. Albania, yeah. So there might
Probably.
be some love for Serbia there. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe the juries will have the same thought as me. Like, it's a pop song that's absolutely brilliant for what it's trying to take, and maybe they will appreciate it. We don't know. The semi is a box of surprises. Like, it's harder to predict. Simple Things says, hey, hey, we're
Hey,
here
simple things.
doing the semi-two predictions, and now I think we're probably going to agree on this. Who is going to qualify that we're not seeing right now, but will blossom the live show?
I think the one that is going through that people don't think will is Denmark. Now, my reason being, we do have to be careful with the last slot because obviously Triana Park came last from the last slot from which year was it? Latvia, I can't remember the year, a couple of years ago. And they came last in that slot. However, Denmark is very happy and it is very typical to Eurovision. And I think this will get a lot of love from Iceland. It will get a lot of love from Finland. And even the Western states voting in this, France and the UK, I think they're going to love this song. Maybe the juries, I don't think are going to love it, but I think this will do quite well on the televote. So I can see Denmark. I can see Denmark going through, even though I think as a song, I don't think it's very good.
It has been a huge hit in Denmark, wasn't it? Like
Mm-hmm,
it
mm-hmm.
was one of the most successful DMGP winners in the recent years, and people just love it over there. And maybe it can hit the same audience as we said for Slovenia, the moms, the people who are nostalgic for the time that this song portrays so authentically. Like people don't say, "Oh, it's an '80s throwback." No, it's an '80s song that you could really see on the time, and I think it really could surprise too. The performance could do some work from the national selection
Oh
version.
yeah, yeah.
That one was a bit weak, a bit hard to watch, but the studio version, it can surprise. It has been growing on me. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but yeah, it could have something to contribute to the final. And another one I think that could go is Austria, the other Amen.
Okay.
Um, I don't think it's going to do well with the televote. It maybe could be a situation very similar to 2017 with Running on Air, Nathan Trent.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
it's just a pop song that just so it's just so rounded, like so it's there, like people just vote for it because I don't know how to justify this, but maybe it could go through. It's a bad explanation, I know, but I have that vibe that maybe. And Austria has success with this, with those songs that are solid, that does rock anyone's mind, but in the end they go through because the jury's just like some solid pop
Mm-hmm.
sometimes. And the other one I want to talk about on the non-qualifier side is Sugar from Moldova that has been
Interesting.
it has been having a lot of publicity. Like there was this huge show for the review, and there
Mm-hmm.
has been huge production in the music video, and we don't know what Kirkorov is thinking right now about the
Mm-hmm.
staging. And it could go either way. Like Moldova usually does great staging, but there has been some things that are worrying, and like maybe they are going to put all their income on that stage and just neglect everything else, like they have been doing, like other parties that have been really lackluster performance on the vocal side, on the performance. And
Mm-hmm.
I could compare this with Azerbaijan, and maybe they could have similar fates, but we
Totally.
really don't know what's happening on stage. What do you
Yeah, Moldova, I'm kind of agreeing with you on. I think like Dream Team staging, Philip Kirkorov staging is always like a show. And I absolutely adore anything Philip Kirkorov does. Like it's just so camp and so extravagant. I love that. But Natalia's vocal, oh, I think she has a really good voice on Prison from last year, but her voice on this, it just doesn't sound right. You know, the live performance at pre-party Spain. I mean, there were some technical issues there, but it was just bringing back to that question earlier we had about who do we think could get hurt by vocals. Potentially Moldova. I don't see juries putting Moldova through, but I think it's going to pip it. It's going to go through very borderline in the middle. But yeah, I can't really imagine a final without it. But if the staging is really bad, then yeah, I'd agree with you. It's definitely not the strongest song in the semi by no stretch of the imagination.
True, true. Let's read some comments. Take a break. Caio says that his shock qualifier is Austria or Czechia, and his shocking non-qualifiers are Denmark or Portugal. Let's
That
say
wouldn't be
Czechia.
shocking.
Yeah, it wouldn't be shocking, but let's say Czechia a little bit because I don't think that the qualifying would be a shock. Like we know Benny's stage presence is amazing. He got the moves, he got the vocals, he's going to go through. I'm pretty certain of that.
See, I think Czech Republic is a definite out, so it would be a shock for me. I don't think Czech is qualifying, and that's because I really like Benny. I really like the song. It got quite a high score from me, but it's very it feels longer than it is, and I feel when I'm watching it, then it just goes on and on and on and on, and that's not what you want for Eurovision. I don't think juries are going to love this, and the televote is never very kind to the Czech Republic. Look at Lake Malawi; they got 7 points from the televote, and they did really well with the juries. So I think Czech is out. I really do.
Yeah, now I now I'm not too certain of what I just said, but I really think it's going to be a qualifier worthy performance. But if he's actually going to go through, yeah, it's borderline. Josh Cannon, he says that his shocking on qualifier is Greece, and that his shock qualifier is Portugal. What do you think?
Well, first of all, shout out to Josh Kennan. He is also with Wiwibloggs. Um, Shock non-qualifier from semi to Greece. No, I think Greece is going through. Shock qualifier for Portugal. I'd quite like to see Portugal go through, but again, I just don't see the support for it. It's very similar to the Makes Austria in 2015, and if that's anything to go by, the juries don't really like this kind of thing. I don't know. There could be some kind of very emotional connection. Obviously, it did really well at Festival de Canção, but yeah, I don't see Portugal going through, unfortunately, which is makes me really sad because Portugal is one of my favorite Eurovision countries.
Yeah, like the shock when they won was just so big, and like, yeah, we just weren't expecting this at all, and it's just I don't think it's going to be strong enough. But Greece, yeah, it's the contender for top five even, especially with that mysterious staging they're going to have. And I don't see a final without it.
Yeah,
And yeah,
yeah.
Portugal. I don't think so.
I think
Caio
on the topic
says
of
that.
Portugal.
Oh, go on.
No, so okay. On the topic of Portugal, I just want to say I think the way that songs win Festival de Canção is very different to how songs win Eurovision. And it's the same in Albania with Festivali Kengis. The things that jurors and local voters look for in a song are very different to an international audience. And that I think is sometimes why Portugal and Albania, those kind of countries, struggle to go through. But yeah, I'd like to see Portugal in the final.
Yeah, like there are countries that are like very true to themselves. They don't look for any international approval. They just vote for their songs that they like the most and that really represent the country. And this time, it's a good song. I have to agree. It's like something very different. It's Like it gets a lot of unnecessary hate, and sometimes I do sometimes not like it, but like it's something to appreciate. Tatanka's voice is
Hmm.
incredible, and maybe if they can get the storyline, for example, the song is it's about a sex worker that they ran into in
Yeah,
Amsterdam.
yeah.
Like if they can get the story through, maybe it can go. We just really have to wait, and we're all just doing predictions here. Oh yeah, Kyle said he tapped wrong. All of them are my shocking qualifiers. So yeah, Denmark and Portugal would be shocking qualifiers.
Oh, I see. I see. Yeah, that makes more sense. I don't think many people would be shocked if Portugal didn't go through. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And Joe Langton here, he says that Oliver has the knowledge. You too. It's very great to have you with us with your insights. They just have
Thank
a
you.
great, you just have a great feel about this, and it's just great to have you here. Thank you for coming once again.
Thank you. Where are we up to?
All right, then let's continue discussing the semifinal two. Let's talk about the safe ones now. What do we think they're safe? Um, Switzerland.
Switzerland is safe. It's not one of my favorites this year, but it is going through absolutely. San Marino is safe. Iceland as well is safe. Um, Greece is safe. Bulgaria is safe. Finland is safe. And those last few spots are the ones that are up for grabs from those borderline countries like Latvia and who else have we got? Denmark.
Okay.
Those countries. Yeah.
You know, ever since the beginning, I was thinking that Albania is going to qualify, and
Hmm.
I think that not Austria, Latvia won't. Like, I'm for no reason, I'm just
I
really
agree.
certain on those, and like Latvia is just not going to reach a broad audience enough. In Albania, it has the charm, like it has good production after the revamp. It is kind of a song that's very different from the rest of the same. Like you know that it's Albania singing it, of course, but it just has that unique factor that I think it's going to be appreciated. Like it's just going to just scrape through.
Yeah, Albania, I think, is going to go through. I think it's going to be towards the bottom of the top 10. Um, but yeah, I think it deserves to go through. Angela Peristeri is a very strong vocalist. And yeah, I think people will appreciate this. I think the one in this semi final that is probably I think my other qualifiers from the semi final will be Austria. I do think that is just going to nip above the likes of Czech Republic. Um, and probably my lost. I think my last qualifier is Denmark. I yeah, it's this is a really the semi-finals are so hard to call. I'm just like so. It's never easy. It's never easy.
It's been nerve-wracking. No, ever since the running order came out, I just been so, oh my god, I don't know anything about what's going to happen on this one.
Yeah, no idea.
So just a few last observations. Estonia, yeah, I don't
Out,
think so. No,
out.
out. Um, Georgia, contender for last overall in the contest, I think.
Yeah, yeah, out as well. I don't have much to say about Georgia. I think it's really weak. Although I will say actually that I enjoy the fact that they're doing something so different, and I feel like Tony Capiani is sticking to himself, and I always appreciate that. But there's no way that Georgia's going through. That is out.
Yeah, there's some aspects of the song that I can appreciate definitely, but
Yeah,
Georgia has
totally.
just not been up for competing on the last few years.
Yeah, yeah.
And the ride, mm, yeah, just for me, it has a vibe of 12 in the semi. Like it does better than a lot of people give it credit for. but it's not enough. It's like not quality enough to actually get in the final.
Yeah, yeah. I
So,
no.
a few comments. Let's see. Guy says that he's kind of feeling that Bulgaria is coming to win the semi. You
Hmm.
think so? Yeah, maybe like
I
eight,
think
eight.
I they are where are they performing? 13th. Okay, yeah. I think that this semi-final, the top two are going to be Iceland and Georgia. I'm not sure which way round that's going to be. Not Georgia, sorry. Bulgaria and Iceland. I'm
I
so
love
sorry.
Georgia.
I've been talking about Georgia and it just came out. Georgia is not coming top two in the semi. Georgia is coming bottom two. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Bulgaria is gunning for the win of this semi-final. And honestly, people aren't talking about it very much, but Bulgaria could win this whole thing. They're not out of the game yet. I think there is a very touching message with this song, and as well with the conversations with Victoria about her dad being diagnosed with ALS, this disease. There is a very touching and moving story there that is going to pull a lot of people in, and it is about that whole package. I think Bulgaria is destined for the top three. I really do.
Yeah, they could totally make it. And it's such a beautiful story. Like, just talking about it, like, it's such an emotional song. It just touches me on every single way. And it would really likely do really good both in the semi and in the final. It's absolutely a contender. I didn't really see the story properly, but wasn't like that predictor that predicted that it's going to win and that he got it right for the last, I don't know how many years. I didn't see it properly, but I saw a headline about
I don't remember that part of the story. I have to I have to admit, but I mean, let's hope that luck is on her side because I think that I think she could win. I do.
yeah, let's. It would just be so deserving, in my opinion. And we'll see. Um, Fábio Ferreira showing his love for Portugal,
Portugal,
and
Portugal.
yeah, we have a lot of Portuguese viewers. We love you guys.
We love
Maria
Portugal. Yeah,
João,
Portugal is one of my favorite Eurovision countries.
Maria João Vicente says, we'll see the Black Mamba on the stage, and they will rock it.
I
Fábio
hope so.
agrees. I really hope
I
so.
hope
Like,
so.
yeah, Portugal is in our hearts, Portugal no coração, and yeah, like it would be a deserving qualifier. I would love to see it in the final. Like a lot of people I know wouldn't, but I just think it's a quality song. Like there has been so much promotion. Like they truly believe in this song.
Yeah, and also, the Black Mamba are such an interesting band. Like I've, I listen all the time to Eurovision artists and their like back catalog of music. They have some really good songs, and I hope that this song pulls people in to discover more about them, even if they don't do very well on the scoreboard at Eurovision. I think they're going to get a lot of new fans from Eurovision, and that is, at the end of the day, that is what it's all about.
Yes, absolutely. It's there are some people that are saying, "Oh, they're just ballads after ballads." This is not a ballad. This is jazz. This is soul. This is so much
Hmm.
different than everything we've seen, and you need to appreciate that. It's it's
Absolutely.
a very new thing.
Agreed. Agreed.
Maria also says that they will be singing live and not in playback, and yeah, Pedro's vocal is just crystal clear, and there won't be enough to doubt about that. It will be a good performance, period, from his part.
Yeah. 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 Agreed.
All right, so let's move on the topic. Um, Now let's talk about the final, and you already said your opinion on Bulgaria, but who is going to be on the top to win, and is that winner among the odds favorites right now? Who do you
I do think the winner is among the odds favorites, and I think that the winner is going to be Malta. Um, I don't. I just think this has such worldwide appeal, and jurors are going to love it. The televote is going to love it. Um, my other potential winner is France, which is currently second in the odds. I think this is just completely magical. It's so just next level. I think France is going to win the jury vote, and I think Malta could potentially win the televote, and we might have some balancing there. But France, Malta, Bulgaria, and even Iceland, actually, I think is still going to do very well. So those are my four countries to come near the top. My own country, the UK, I think is headed for the bottom five, if I'm completely honest. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting final. I think this is a very difficult year to call. Certainly the most open Eurovision that we've had for a good few years.
Yes, it's so open. We are just here struggling to try to mark what's going to happen, but really we have no idea. It could be so random, but yeah, like Malta, it could absolutely win. It's probably going to be in the top three. I'm so excited to see how it's going to be staged because, like, when I think of this song on stage, it's giving me chills. Like, it could be such an impactful performance, and that could just make it
Hmm.
win. Even though, like, as a
Hmm.
song, I don't see it as a Eurovision winning song, but maybe the staging could just elevate it completely, and they could just make a moment with maybe a waterfall effect, maybe something like more golden, maybe 20s inspired somehow, the outfits, but it's really tough. Like, I think it's going to be top three, definitely, but
Hmm.
winner, I'm not sure yet. Um,
Mm.
France
And
is absolutely,
Destiny's
yeah,
voice, like she is going to get so many jury points for that. It is it just blows everything else out of the water. And can we just say as well, she is 18. She's 18 and her voice is like that. It's just incredible. Like she's going to have such a fantastic career after Eurovision. Just amazing. And also if Malta does win, she's making history. First Maltese winner, first junior Eurovision winner to go on and win Eurovision, and the first black woman to win Eurovision would be amazing. And I'm so excited for Malta.
it will be like a very climatic win. Like, Eurovision is back after 2 years, and then this star that rise from the competition itself and it's just bringing so much a message of empowerment and it's meaning for a tiny nation in the Mediterranean. Like, it would be a moment. I have to agree with you. And
Yeah.
yeah, the thing that's just worrying is maybe the televote, like, it's historically not been kind to Malta.
Hmm.
And but
Hmm.
maybe she could fix that. We don't know. Like, she really is in it for the top. And yeah. And for France, yeah, I have to agree with you. That song is absolutely breathtaking. It's authentic. It's just a lot of what Eurovision is about. And yeah, Barbara just has a beautiful stage presence. The stage is going to be simple. It's going to be striking.
Yeah.
Iceland, I agree with you too. It will make an impact that most of us inside the fandom are not seeing, but that the locals will see, especially the ones who are seeing it for the first time, or maybe the ones who remember think about things too.
Hmm.
And yeah,
Hmm.
it's just I could talk about this for ages because there are just so many. And Italy too with Måneskin, they shocked one
Absolutely.
in a row, and they could do it here too. Um, Iraq has one before with Lordi in 2006, and they're just
Yeah.
so authentic
Yeah.
too. And well, Italy's downfall in recent years has been staging, and like, this is a rock song. You just need the energy and like maybe some small details, but like they will carry it all the way through, and it could be a moment or like there's just so much to be excited about and so many
Yeah.
acts that just it's a very high level competition.
The main takeaway I think is that the top 10, I think is going to be really close. Like, I do think this is going to be a very close year. Um, I think the televote is often more how do we how can I say this? It's kind of more spread out, the televote. So you get like bigger margins in the televote because people tend to gravitate towards one song. But I think the jury this year is going to be all over the place. We're going to get 12 points for France, 12 points for Italy, for Malta, for Sweden at some point, for Iceland. It's just there are so many contenders to win. But that makes me excited. I like that it's open. It's not a 2012. We knew Euphoria was going to win. 2015, we knew Heroes was going to win. This is so open, and that I'm excited about that.
Yeah, like it's going to be something we've never seen in this era. Like we had 2016, which was like very close to, and a lot of people didn't expect Ukraine to be free, but like this is on another level. Like I think this is just the year where really everything is open. Like we could have a shock winner. Um,
Yeah,
maybe
we could.
yeah. Like I don't know. It's just so many that we could talk about. And it's just very exciting times, and we just can't wait to see how it all turns out. Um, so let's read some comments. I says, okay, but sending to opening cemetery with Florida, this can be in Eurovision history books.
Yeah.
Do you think Florida is going to be there?
um. Yes, I do. I do think he's going to be there. I'm fairly certain that I know. Well, it's on the cards, definitely. I think the only thing that would hold him back would be like COVID travel restrictions, but I don't see that being an issue when like everybody's taking a test and all of that. Yeah, I think Flo Rida's going to be there. I just think they're saving the announcement until it's like the moment until he actually arrives so that everybody is excited for it when he actually does arrive in Rotterdam.
Yeah, that is smart. San Marino is also happy to watch for. They are very likely going to get the best result in their history, and
Oh
I'm
yeah.
just so excited about it.
Yeah.
I also says that his winner is Cyprus, but he predicts France winning. Most voters listen to the song for the first time in the grand final, and voila has an instant impact around it. Like everyone remembers where they were
Mm.
when they listened to voila for the first time. It's
Mm.
such an impactful song.
Absolutely. It's and that impact is instant, you know. Even if you don't like, I don't speak French. All of Europe doesn't speak French, but that first line is "écoutez-moi," which everybody understands. Like "écoutez-moi" is "listen to me," and she's saying, "Europe, listen to me," and instantly you're in it, and you can understand what she's talking about, even if you. My camera's shaking. I'm sorry. Even if you can't. Even if you can't understand French, you know what she's talking about. So yeah, this could be France's year. It really could be.
It could be, and yeah, it's the magic. Just expecting so many countries to just leave us wigs flying all around, and it's just been such a joy. Maria João is saying here in Portuguese that the Black Mamba is going to be the surprise of the evening, and they will give support on the 8th to to support them, so they will make it through. Um,
I
Kyle
hope so.
thinks Kyle here is asking which ones do we predict. Would this year be a landslide year or a close one? Yeah, we already said that it's going to be super
Yeah,
close.
it's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. Unless something spectacular happens with some staging and there's a real buzz around one entry, then it is gonna be close. Yeah. Even 2019 was really close between the Netherlands and Italy. So yeah, this is gonna be even closer.
Yeah, 4 days, people, 4 days, and everything will change, and we will see what happens. Like, I think it's going to stay pretty close. Like, but I don't know. Maybe someone can surprise us and like we'll never see. We never saw it coming. And Maria João says that no one knows the stages better than the Black Mamba, which is something that I agree. They can do a stage performance, definitely.
Mhm.
And Josh says that we could really have a rehash of 1988 final when it came down to the final country's vote to determine the winner. Yeah, like
Well,
we don't have that system
if
anymore, but
yeah, exactly. I was gonna say if the system was like that, then yes, but no, because obviously the televote is gonna be tense anyway. But yeah, I can imagine like formulaically, I can imagine that that is something similar to what we're gonna see happen. Yeah.
yeah, like just you take the lead, you take the lead, you take the lead, you take the lead. It's it's going to be
Yeah.
so close. Oh my god. All right, so we will be going to our next topic, which is our favorites. Like, let's go a little bit more subjective here now. What are your favorites going into the competition? And if there's someone that you lost in the national finals that you would have loved to see it. Um, and yeah,
Okay. Okay. My favorites this year are France, Iceland, Malta, Bulgaria. Really love all of those songs. Um, yeah, I think you can tell from everything that I've said so far about all of the songs that I love. Um, Another one that I'm really liking is I'm really liking San Marino. I really like Lithuania. In terms of national finals, I'll be honest, there's not many that I wish had gone to Eurovision. I think all of the songs that did win their national finals won them deservedly so. I never think anybody's been robbed. Like that's just no. Like they've not been robbed. Um However, I wish that Axel in Finland, I really wanted him to go because I think out of everybody who was returning, he hasn't been to Eurovision yet. You know, we had the Mamas in Sweden. They didn't win their national final either, but at least they went to Eurovision in 2019 alongside John Lundvik. Axel hasn't had the Eurovision experience yet, and I think he deserves it. So hopefully we get to see him come back for Finland one year. Um, yeah, Hurt by Axel is a really good song. In the Middle by the Mamas. Irama, La Genesi del Tuo Colore, even Arissa, actually, in Italy, Potevi fare di più. I think I'm pronouncing that right. That's a really strong song, and I think that would have done very well for Italy. But overall, I think most of the choices in this year's national final were the right choices. And yeah, I think I the only one that I'm slightly upset about is Finland. But even so, you know, a lot of people love Blind Channel, and I think they'll do well. I don't like the song, but it will do well.
yeah, there was the controversy. Yeah, but I kind of agree with you with Axel. Like I was watching him at Pro, and like it was so sad to see him not go. Like he wasn't even second; he was like
Yeah,
fourth, I think, and he really deserved it. It was a great song, to be honest. I think as good as Looking Back, not better. And he would have deserved to go so much because he didn't have that moment. But on my view, I'd say that my favorites are the national finals that I would have loved to see. Like, yeah, like I like the winners this year. They
yeah,
really, all these countries really, all these artists really deserve. They won fair square, and you can take that from them. But I also love in Irama, with Genesi do Tucolori. It's one of my favorite songs. This entire national final selection,
yeah.
national
Great
final
song,
season
really good.
is an amazing song. Yeah. Contramão by Fred Afonso. It's one of my favorites too, from Chuva da Canção. Dani
Mhm.
Dança by Dani Salcedo. It was, I think that song is brilliant. I Can't Escape from MGP.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
maybe
also, what's that song called? My Dear Am I from San Remo by Willie Peyote. I really love that song as well. I think that would have been great at Eurovision. Oh, so many strong songs at San Remo every single year. I just think Italy is bound to get a win sometime soon. Like they just serve quality after quality after quality. And yeah, yeah, any of those songs could have won San Remo this year.
yeah, Italy really deserves it. So like Sanremo this year was crazy strong, and I agree with you. My Dear Am I is an amazing song. Like it would be so interesting to have it in Eurovision. Like it will be so different. And it's a song that I really like, and like the whole selection was so good. Um, Ariza's song, like you said, um, Annalisa's, even Colapecci and Di Martino. Um, there were so many more. Like it was a great national selection all around.
Yeah,
And
totally.
yeah, I also said in Festival Cangas, I really like Ziari Im by Era Russi, even though it's a mess.
Yeah,
Like
that was a fan
it's
favorite. Yeah.
so fun, so great. And yeah, um, on the comments, Maria João is saying her love for Portugal. That will be shocked with their show. And Caio says that his favorites are Cyprus, Albania, and Ireland. The only entries that he will literally cry if they end ill. I see both Cyprus and Albania going through, and Ireland, yeah, it's chill. Like it has a little more dependent on it to
Mm.
go through, but I really think it will because we've all can agree that it's a very quality song.
Yeah, yeah, I do think Ireland deserves to go through. If it doesn't, that will be the one song that I'll be upset about. Um, but yeah, I think she's going through. Every there is a real buzz around this song, and I think Joras will respect that. And I really hope, I have my fingers crossed that the televote respects it as well, because in the past, the televote isn't very kind to Ireland. You know, the only neighbour that Ireland has is the UK, and the UK isn't voting in semi-final one, unfortunately. So, you know, the voting isn't always super kind to Ireland, but I've got my fingers crossed. I think it will go through. It should go through. It absolutely deserves it over Serbia.
Wait, but Serbia
Controversial
is in the
opinion, I
other
know.
Serbia is in the other semi.
Mm. Oh my
You're gonna
gosh. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
no, it's okay, it's okay. Uh, who would you switch it for then?
Say again, sorry?
Who would you switch Ireland for then? I'm going to say Norway. I would switch it for Norway.
I would switch it for probably Romania. Um, again,
Yeah.
I think Ireland will go through over Romania, and I think it should. And as well, actually, we haven't talked about Croatia. I don't think Croatia's going through, even though a lot of people like it. I just think that there's bigger pop songs than TikTok. Like the lyrics are so. Uh, um, so yeah, I think Croatia out, Romania out, Ireland in, and who else have we got in? Who else is a borderline? Uh,
Uh, Norway, Australia,
yeah,
Slovenia.
I'd probably say Norway in over Romania. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that Croatia is going through. I think that it's like the quintessential pop song. It has that verse that's really going to capture people's attention. And
Hmm.
yeah, like it's in kind of a tough spot in the semi. Like it's right after Cyprus and Norway. And then there's Belgium and then Israel, which maybe could harm it. But I really don't see a final without Croatia. Like I have always been kind of sure it was going to qualify, but now maybe I don't know. And also, I want to take this moment to talk about one of my favorites of all time this year, which is Russia, which is my personal winner.
Hmm.
And Manisha is just spectacular performer. She's an amazing personality. Like her pre-party performances have been spectacular too. And the song is just so full of personality, so has a good message. The
Yeah.
Russian part is so catchy. The chorus too. I think that this is like one of my favorite artists to discover from this year. My personal.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was lukewarm on Russian Woman when we heard it at the national final. I didn't actually like it very much, but I have grown to really appreciate it. Um, and I think Manisha is an incredible like personality, and I think this song really shows it off well. So yeah, she's definitely going through. And actually, have you seen her performance from the Spanish pre-party?
I've seen it. It's so good.
It's so strong, and that made me sure. Like I think she's heading towards the top 10. I do.
I really hope so. It's just
Yeah.
one of my favorites of all time. I think now.
Wow.
Have we missed anyone? I don't think so. I mean, oh yeah, let's talk a little bit about the big five.
Oh yeah, yeah. We completely missed the big
We
five.
completely missed them. You
Okay.
said that you think that your country, the UK, is going to get bottom five. I
Hmm.
sadly may have to agree, even though I really wanted to do well. But and James is amazing, but I don't think the performance is going to be so strong to carry it more
Mm.
than a few places above last.
Yeah, it's not going to come last. It's not going to do bigger than us, Michael Rice. But it is coming in the lower half of the scoreboard. I think it's good. You can hear it on the radio, but it's too safe. There's no risk there. And I just I don't know. I'm not really a fan of it. Excuse me. Um yeah, it's better than My Last Breath. Absolutely. But I just don't see it. I don't see it picking up the points it needs to do well.
I mean, I hate to say this because it's a song that I personally like, but it's just not competitive unless, like, with the
No.
BMG money, maybe they can make a stage that will blow people's minds. But I just really not so confident about that because I personally really like
Yeah.
Germany. Do you think it's going to do well in the televote, as people say?
Yeah. Yeah. Germany, I think, is going to do better than the UK. Because I think it's quirkier and it is risky. Um, and I think like Jendrik is so likable and is he really saved this song. If this song was given to anybody else, it would be straight in the bin. It would be garbage. But this is Jendrik really gives it the life. And yeah, I think this is going to surprise a lot of people. Again, it's going to be on the right hand side of the leaderboard. It's not going to do amazingly well, but I would say something between like 15th and 20th, actually. Um, if it get, you know, Germany is always unpredictable. It is, but I've
True.
kind of started to think it could do better.
Yeah, like Yandick is was very he has proven that he has a very good performance attitude and he can do it. He has the personality to do it, and
Hmm.
yeah, maybe it can go a little bit further than what we think. Like I think that 20th is a good prediction, like maybe 18th or something. That yeah,
Yeah.
that's about it. Um, Either that or last. Like it's not going bottom five unless it's last.
Yeah, I get you. It's very divisive. Yeah.
And Spain,
Oh, no, Spain is coming last. I really think Spain is coming last. I love Blas Canto. I think he's an incredible singer. But this song, we've heard it a million times, and I don't know. I just don't think this is going to do well at all.
Yeah, I just really don't trust RTV's capabilities to stage this the proper way, like maybe catapult it a little bit, but it's just safe. Yeah, like it's been tried and true, and yeah, it's not going to surprise anyone.
Mm.
So I think the last song we have to talk about, the host entry, the Netherlands, Birth of a New Age.
Yeah,
Sadly, I think it's kind of a contender for last place too, but yeah, like
I I I don't know. I think it could go either way. I think this deserves love from the juries and the televote. I don't think this deserves to be near the bottom because I think it musically it's so strong, but there isn't a lot in it that the jurors typically go for. You know, it is very it's quite left field for what televoters and what jurors typically respond to. But that first performance, I can imagine the Yunuman Broko Me, where it says "You will not break me" on the screen. That could be really powerful, and that could attract a lot of jury attention. But yeah, another win, another win isn't on the cards for the Netherlands. Let's just say that.
yeah, we're not going to. We are leaving the Netherlands this year. It's going
Yeah.
to
Oh,
happen
and
after
I
two
love the
weeks.
song. I love the song. It's one of my favorites. I absolutely love it. It's in my top 10. But I think overall this is gonna end up near the bottom, unfortunately.
And like, yeah, it's sad to say this because I really do love it too. Like, it's. I think that the verses are are much better than the chorus, but still, it's musically a great song. It's a great statement. It's uh, like, yeah, it's what I like to see the Netherlands sending as a host country. It's a great host country. It's a great
Yeah.
song, and I would hate to see it so poorly. But like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not going to go too high, but maybe we can have a surprise, hopefully. So before we close this, let's just take a one last look at the comments. Um, Maria João is saying that maybe they sing it in English. Portugal could have maybe an advantage. Um, Caio says that it's not a safe year for upbeat songs. I agree. Like
Yeah, because there's so many,
there's
it's
so many.
hard
It
to
just
kind
has
of
to be very competitive.
yeah, exactly. It's very competitive indeed.
Caio agrees with us that Spain and the Netherlands are fighting for the last place. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, yeah. I think the Netherlands should end up higher than Spain. But yeah, those two are definitely coming near the bottom.
Fabio disagrees with us. He thinks that Spain is not going to be last this year. And Caio says that he loves the Netherlands, but the Spring's host country last place hurts. Like I kind of don't see it coming last. Like if they use the screen thing you said, like it had make that statement through uh, through that in the words, but like I think it's going to be either Spain or maybe Germany. Like I could see get 25th, but not last. You know,
Yeah, yeah. I think if it does come last, it's going to be such a shame, because Jonggu is such a brilliant performer, and he deserves to do really well. Um, but yeah, it's not it's not pushing for the top 10, even the top 15. Um, yeah, Netherlands is a really difficult one for me to judge because I do love it so much. Um, So yeah, unfortunately, I do think it is going to follow that trend of the host country not doing so well. Sometimes part of me thinks that the televote doesn't reward the host country because they're like, "Oh, you've already won. You know, you don't have to win again." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're not going to give their votes to the country that just won because why would you? So I think that plays into it a little bit. Who knows?
But yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. Do you have any final considerations? Anything to say that we couldn't along the stream?
No, other than thank you very much for having me. Obrigado, Brazil. I can't speak Portuguese. I wish I could, but yeah,
Thank you.
thank you very much for having me. If you want to check us out on Wiwibloggs, you can. At Wiwibloggs on social medias. My social media is at Alpha Oliver _ and if you're actually here from Wiwibloggs, make sure you check out these guys. Chapeau la chasse et Eurovision. I hope I'm saying that okay.
It's okay. It's great,
For
actually. Well,
yay
as we have some
for
content in English, this stream, there are some interviews. We love to have this chat here. Thank you for coming. Thanks everyone for watching. Go check out Ruby Vlogs and Oliver does great work there, and we are very happy to receive you guys here. Obrigado, and we will see you
obrigado.
later. Just
Bye.
says great conversation. We agree, and so yeah, thank you everyone for coming, and we will see you later. Bye.
Bye.